Hello YouTube fans, here again. And if you guys I'm doing cannibal films and talking about the video nasties, why not this one? Technically this one, it's not a video nasty, but it's definitely like nasty. And it's like a confusing one this, and it is a cannibal film. That being, I would say Man Michelle and the Last Cannibals. Say it again. Man Michelle and the Last Cannibals. And after the big success of the Man Michelle films, and the success of the cannibal films, they decided to mix this as a mixed bag. It's not been the first time. They did one before with Man Myself, where it was basically like a James Bond meets Man Myself. Seriously, I'm not making it up. So they figured to took the task in on the cannibal Xander. You can pronounce the word right. You've got the actress that played in B Man Myself. And if I say B, I'm going to use all the words because I do not want to get in shit for unbreakable correct. It's a word you wouldn't get away with nowadays, but it's a different era, different time. So she appears as Man Myself. Like I say, it's a bit like I can put it. I can put it. It starts off as a little what's it film because it's Man Myself. Then as the film goes on, it becomes like a jungle adventure film, and then nearly at the end, it becomes a fucking horror film, all rolled into one. So you get a bit of the typical 70s music. It's really 70s. It's really It's really hateful. It is hateful. It's really 70s. It's really irritating. It goes, I'm your love, like a queen. I'm not going to do the rest. If you think I sound terrible, hear the song. It's fucking horrendous. That's the word I was trying to look for. It's fucking horrendous. So you get half an hour of that, and then you've got Man Myself, he's undercover, he's got this fake Joe with a camera on it, definitely like a Bond film, and she's taking photos. And you've got a nurse, she's steaming, she's in pain, you've got an idea it's in some hospital, like a mental asylum. And what it is, she's got half a breast, right? Don't worry, I've got sorts on people. She's got half a breast bitten off, and you find this girl with a big chunk of a breast. You find out halfway through the film the nurse has been messing with her. So she's had a breast bitten off. And it turned out this girl was abducted and she was on some sort of island which is infested by cannibals. So Man Myself is playing the same character what she was in B Man Myself, I'll say that. And she realises Ireland is riddled with cannibals and it's got diamonds and rubies and so on. So she meets a guy on the way. I do admit the actress that played Man Myself and the B Man Myself was very attractive in that era. And she teams up with this other guy who he's been that through the B Man Myself films. And you think like in real life was her husband in real life at the time. And they go to this island. Cut the story short, to meet somebody on the way. There's a bit of bonking, which is like typical on the Man Myself films. A bit of wham bam thanking man, a bit of excuse to show nudity, tits, bus, ass, bonking. So they go on. So in the UK, it's cut to pieces. The bonking, date, the nudity, beautiful. But when it gets to the blood and door, it's a bit timmed down. But I'll give it its due in this one. I will give it its due. There's no cruelty to animals like most of the cannibal films. There's no cruelty to animals. You get one scene where you see a chimpanzee, a monkey, smoking a cigarette. That's about it. But there's no cruelty to animals. So I will give this one its fair due. So, like I said, they're on this island, they've got a nun, they've got this other guy, you've got this other guy, there's a bit of nudity here, there, bonking here, there, wham bang, thank you, man. Um, you've got one woman, you've got the idea she's cheating on her husband, she's bonking someone, she performed an act on someone, that's all I'm going to say, so I don't get in trouble, but when I say perform an act, you get what I mean. And so on. The husband was also cheating away. His actor's been out a few films. He appeared in Doll Styles. He appeared in Zombie Horror Tours. He's been out a lot of these B type of horror films. So there's no stranger of horror films. Like my eye. So as the film goes on, you get the first death scene, you get the nun, and I think she's going for the number one. No, well, you got to do it. You got to do it. The only place you can do it is behind buses. But she gets taxed. You don't see it, but you do see the afterthoughts of the cannibals. There's a bit. It's really traffic. It's a bit. where they cut a breast off. And I think in the uncut one, there's a lot more of them cutting a breast off, and then you see them stabbing in the ducts, and they put the intestines and the insides out, and they're munching on it. At that point, it's brown bread. So it's definitely a bit disturbing at that bit. They're looking for her, they find a body, they find her head stuck on a pole, not being juiced up. They do literally find her head stuck on a pole. I'm assuming they've eaten the rest of her. And like I said, a few deaths on the way. So as the film goes on, one of the girls gets abducted and they're going to sacrifice her to a dog. There's a bit disturbing. There's a bit where they molest her. She's doped up, this girl. Man myself strips off to show her tits bust. It's this point which is an excuse to show tits and nudity. You know, to pretend to be one of the dogs of the cannibals. The die of the woman's bonking, he gets killed, but she gets tattooed, and so does he. Again in the UK, cut to ship on the uncut one. The leader cannibal's got a knife, and putting it bluntly, he stabs her down there, and he slits her, pulls the ducts out, the intestines out, and the munching on it. But this is the worst death of all. They've got the die, they've got one rope right on one side. They've got another rope on the other side, and then sorts. And the cannibals pulling on one, and the other cannibal is pulling on the other, and they literally rip this poor bastard in half. So it definitely doesn't fuck about in fight scene. So they're about to sacrifice her, and Mademoiselle comes out in the nud. Again, let's use so nudity. They get the girl. The cannibals realise that she's bullshit to them and she's not some god of the cannibals or whatever. They're chasing them, they get on the boat, they shoot a couple of the cannibals, the leader jumps out of nowhere, typical Trump stare. He gets shot and killed, by the way. The man myself was ranging in round and finding whether it was a vet fencer. All the mates got killed. Was it really worth it? And they ride off. You've got the annoying 1870s song again. Like a queen, like a queen. I'm not going to do the rest because it's horrible. End of fucking movie. But it's a mixed bag, this one. Sort of ran it, sort of say it's a piece of shit. Not really. The violence is a bit in your face. I do know in the UK, I repeat it, trimmed down and cut down a bit. So the best bet is to get it on an American site. You know, if you want to do it the legal way, buy it from an American site. If you want to see it in its uncut glory, the bits I said, the breast getting cut off, the ducts, the bit where the woman gets stabbed down there, sort of go on. But happy to say there's no cruelty to animals in this one. Again, it's typical of a man myself film. You got bonking, you've got nudity, blah 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 blah. But then, like I say, it starts off like a man myself film, excuse for nudity and bonking. You've got then it's a bit of an offensive film, then it's a cannibal film, and nearly at the end, it's practically a fucking horror movie rolled into one. So it's a mixed bag, this one. It's not a dud film, but it's not a bad hour of your time. Again, there's a lot of good sights of the jungle. I'd give it a 2-star rating because it's had to do something different. It wasn't just being your typical cannibal film. They mixed it with a Man Myself film. They got the actors that played in the B Man Myself. I'm not going to say the rest. Political correct. So you've got that actor. It's very attractive in that era. You've got her husband being sort of like a reporter. I say it's more of a jungle adventure film. Just like most of them. It's a bit fire. People think it's disturbing fire. Wait till you get to films that say like Cannibal Holocaust or the one that's the nastiest of them all. That being Cannibal Fairlock. That's when it really gets graphic. But this one, you get past some of the dory bits. I'd say it's more of a jungle adventure film with Mamso and a bit of bonking and nudity folded into one. So if you're going into it for reward acting, you're not going to get it. If you're going into it for an epic story, you're definitely not going to get it. If you want a bit of bonking, mildly, a bit of nudity, fair enough. You're going into it for just a jungle adventure film, that's what you're going to get. If you want to see it in its uncut form, get it from America. Other than that, that's Man Myself and The Last Cannibals. Into then, be smart, be safe, and I'll see you later.